forgot to tell you guys this, but I'm 50 years old. I will be 51 this year. And I feel like having a good under eye concealer is going to help you so much to kind of conceal your age. Hi beauties, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a top 5 video in my top 5 series. I'm going to talk about concealers for mature skin. I've already talked about that, but I have some updates for 2024. So if you'd like to find out more, then just keep watching. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me for today's video. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. That way you won't miss any of my uploads. I wanted to give you guys an update on my top 5 concealers. Quite a few people have watched that video and I thought about it. I haven't filmed a top 5 video in a while and I have some new loves. All of the products that I talked about in that concealer video are still concealers that I love. But I have some more that I think should be on that list. So I just decided to do a second top 5 concealers for 2024. So these are products that I'm currently using and have been using, some in 2023, that I thought deserved to be on this list. I do have an honorable mention as well. And I will tell you guys my favorite of the bunch. No, I can't. I can't. This time I don't think I can pick a favorite. I can tell you guys the ones that I've used the most. How about we do that? I'm also going to tell you about a couple of practices that I do that I think help make my under eye look a little bit better. I think that adding these practices to your routine will also help give you a very beautiful under eye. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to tell you guys a couple of things I do that help any concealer out. Color correcting. One that I have been using for a long time is this one by Charlotte Tilbury, and it's in this little cream pot here. It's very thin and you put it on with a brush. I don't have on color corrector today because I want to talk about the concealer that I'm wearing. This one is the number 3. I think it's number 3 tan is what it's called. And I think the tan may be the person's skin tone, not this. But I have a dent in this and have been using it a while because it was the only color corrector that I had that I really liked for a long time. It's an orange color, perfect for my complexion, and it cancels out dark circles under your eye. And this one is very good. You just put on the smallest amount. So I highly recommend that one. And I've recently purchased this one. It's the Faux Filter Color Corrector in Mango. And it is by HUDA Beauty. And I've really been loving this lately. And I'll just swatch this so you can kind of see what it looks like. It is also a color corrector. And this one is sold in many shades. I thought that this Charlotte Tilbury one was going to be discontinued because I was having a difficult time finding it. But I recently saw it in Sephora. So I think that it is still being sold because I saw it in store. But they have this one in lots of shades and this one is in even more shades, and definitely is still on the market because it has only been around for a little while. And this peach color is perfect for my dark circles and my under eye. Color correcting, whether it's these 2 brands or another one, color correcting is always helpful to get rid of dark circles and will help any concealer out. If you're finding that you can't get rid of the dark circles, try adding one of these. So that's my first tip. My second tip that I want to add is this particular under eye powder by McGRATH. It has a long name. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. This one is in medium and it comes in a lot of shades, and I have put a significant dent in it. And I actually used this today when setting my under eye. And I think that adding this powder, it gets rid of the divots under my eye, because you know how you have that little dip, and I still have it. I can't get rid of this completely, but it has this little dip in my under eye. I set my under eyes with this and then I follow with a loose powder, and it just gives me a smoother under eye, and it helps prevent creasing and things like that under the eye. So I definitely recommend that you pick one of these up if you've never tried it. It's wonderful, and it comes in lots of different shades. I like the medium shade. I wanted something a little more translucent, but it comes in like a yellow, a pink powder now. It comes in lots of shades. I definitely recommend this particular powder because it's specifically made for under the eye, and it really helps. So those are 2 things you can add to your routine that's going to help any of your concealers. So first, I wanted to get that out of the way. I recommend that you get those products. Now let's talk about my concealers. The first one I want to mention is this Bobbi Brown Concealer. This one is called Skin Full Cover Concealer. It is a full coverage concealer. It is a little bit light. It is in Warm Natural, but it is full coverage. It is a little bit bright, but definitely works. I think I would probably want to try a little bit darker shade, but only if I found the right undertone and felt like it would work for my skin tone. I love that it's full coverage. I don't have to use very much. It's gonna snatch that under eye all by itself. I don't even have to use a color corrector. I just fell in love with it and started reaching for it more than any of my concealers for a good period of time. So if you really are looking for a full coverage beat and you want it to be bulletproof, this is one to reach for and purchase. This is full coverage, doesn't crease in fine lines, looks beautiful under the eye. It's going to give you a snatched under eye. It's not hyped up. I picked it up because I hadn't tried it before and I thought, I bet it's good, because every Bobbi Brown product I've ever tried was good and this one did not disappoint. So I recommend this Bobbi Brown full coverage concealer. This one's in Warm Natural, but if you use me as a shade reference, you may want to go 1 or 2 shades darker, but it is beautiful. The next one that I want to talk about is this one by Givenchy. Beautiful. Okay, it looks like this. They all kind of are in the same family. This one is actually pretty perfect. It is a brightening shade, but it is like 1 to 2, maybe 2 shades lighter than my foundation. It's a little bit darker than the Bobbi Brown. And this one says Skin Caring Concealer. And that's one of the reasons I love it. It is super creamy. And when you apply this, it feels like it has skincare in it. Even though it is makeup, it feels like it is very gentle for your skin and it's a creamy concealer. I'm just loving products like that for my more mature skin. I want the coverage, but I want it to look very soft and natural on my skin, and this one does that. I recommended this one in my Sephora recommendations video to you guys. I have been in love with this concealer ever since I purchased it. I love the luxe packaging. It feels very high-end in my hand, and when I use it on my skin, it gives me a very creamy finish, and it is beautiful, spot on, perfect for mature skin in my opinion. So this one is a little bit newer on the market, a little more high end, but gorgeous on your skin. Beautiful, doesn't crease, doesn't settle in fine lines. Love this one. This one is one I have been loving the longest. This is the Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I believe this one is in the shade 435. This one is much deeper than all of the others. And this is a new one because I have almost emptied my other one. And as you can see, this one is darker than the others that I have been swatching for you guys. So if you like a more natural looking concealer where it's not that brightening and you're using me as a shade reference, this is the one to pick up of the ones that I'm going to show you. This one is one that I tend to love to mix with other concealers that are too light. So if some of the others are brighter than I want for that day, because if your concealer is too bright, it can kind of look gray under the eye. So if I feel like this is a little bright for me today, I will mix in this first, like I'll apply this first and then I'll top it with a little bit brighter concealer and it's perfect. But this one is the one I reach for most and have purchased multiple times. And it's hard to empty a complexion product when you are a YouTuber and you have a lot of them. I've almost emptied this one and reached for it all the time and loved it so much that I bought it again in this shade. Even though I knew it was a little bit deeper shade, it was great having this in my collection because I could mix it with other things that might be too light. It was perfect, and there are days when I don't want my makeup to be too bright. And even though this is a little bit darker than normal, it still brightens the skin. And I believe it's one that has the highest ratings on Sephora's website. More people have purchased this and rated it on Sephora's website than any of the other ones that I'm showing you. So it's definitely one to check out. All of these are rated pretty high. Something's magical about this. It's a very thin fluid. It's not very thick. So it's going to give you a more natural under eye. I love this concealer by Lancôme. I called it the Teint Idole, but it's by Lancôme. I love this and I think it is beautiful on mature skin. Love this one. The next one that I want to mention is the most recent one in my collection. It almost did make the video because I haven't had it that long, but I was like, yes, it is. This is worth going in this video. It's good. This one is by Natasha Denona, and it is in the shade NY11. And I love the color of this one as well. It's almost as deep as the one that I have by Lancôme, but I feel like it's a little bit brighter than that one. Just a smidgen brighter. It's neutral but yellow, and it works really great with my skin tone when I use this one. So I really have enjoyed this concealer. It's extremely creamy. That was the first thing I noticed about it, was the creaminess, and also very full coverage. It is going to cover those dark circles. This one is the newest one, I think, that has been launched of the ones that I'm showing you, and I definitely think this is on the rise. Every person I've heard talking about this concealer has loved it. Tati is the person that influenced me to pick it up. She loves it, and she has more mature skin. She's not as old as me, but she's definitely getting on up there for a YouTuber. And she loves this concealer and keeps raving all about it. So I definitely think this is a winner. I love Natasha Denona products, and this is great. I got a feeling that I'm going to repurchase this. I just have a feeling this is one that I'll buy again. So I love this concealer by Natasha Denona, and I think it's worth picking up if you have mature skin. My fifth concealer that I want to tell you guys about probably is the one that is the messiest over here. I've reached for the Lancôme the most because I've repurchased that one. But when I bought this concealer, I practically emptied it like so quickly. I filmed a video on this one as well. If you want to see it in action, I do have a video on this one on my channel, and the Lancôme Teint Idole. I filmed a dedicated video on that concealer as well. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. This one is in the shade Caramel Corn. It's the concealer that I have on today. And a lot of times when I wear this, I will wear it along with the Lancôme. Most of the time when you see me in this concealer on my channel, I've had the Lancôme on. But I don't need to wear anything else with it. It really isn't that bright. It's not overly bright. Sometimes I just like to mix the two. So I have done that quite a bit. But today I wanted to let you guys see it the way that it is. And it is a brightening shade. It's extremely creamy, and it's also very highly rated. So it has fewer ratings than the Lancôme one on Sephora, but has a higher number of stars. Like, it's closer to 5 stars for this particular concealer. As you can see, my under eyes look really smooth and beautiful. At least I think so, and what I'm seeing in the viewfinder and the mirror. I reached for this a lot, and it has a nice doe foot applicator. All of them do a nice little fat doe foot here, and it is the messiest bottle and the closest to empty of the ones that I have over here because I have been using it to death. I oftentimes travel with this one. It's a plastic bottle. I travel with it a lot. I always carry it with me when I'm going somewhere. It is great. So it's definitely a beautiful concealer, and it works for mature skin because I forgot to tell you guys this, but I'm 50 years old. I will be 51 this year, and I feel like having a good under eye concealer is going to help you so much to kind of conceal your age. It conceals your dark circles, but it conceals your age as well. I keep saying I'm 50 years old in so many of my videos lately because I want you guys to know when I'm talking about mature skin that I have mature skin. So I don't want people to think I'm younger than I am. I want you to know I am 50 and I'm getting ready to be over 50. These products work for me with my more mature skin. So this one by Huda is definitely worth checking out. This is an honorable mention, and I have 2 of them. These are by McGRATH, and forever I reached for these all the time. I purchased it in a deeper shade, and I felt like I needed it lighter, so I bought it again. This is M21, and I'm going to swatch them both. That's M21, so you see it's a little darker, and this is, oh my gosh, this one is almost empty, guys, so it's time to buy it again because I can barely get it. This one is M17, this one here. So notice the difference. So I still was wearing this one that's darker, but probably mixed it with light ones, and I haven't worn it a lot since I purchased the lighter shade because it was too dark, obviously. But the McGRATH concealer, she's good. If I have videos where I was wearing these concealers, I will link them down in the description box so that you can see them on my skin, because I do have several videos where I'm wearing these products. But the reason this is honorable mention, and I don't want this to sway you because it's really good, but I felt like there were a couple of times where I could see more of my wrinkles with the application of these concealers. But I was sometimes not sure, because it could have been the powder I was using that day, because most days when I wore the Pat McGrath concealer, snatched, perfect, beautiful, but it's a little bit drier formula. It's not as creamy as the others that I've mentioned. It's a little drier. So maybe as I'm maturing, I might be running into more issues as I'm having more wrinkles. I don't know. So because I wasn't sure if I'm going to keep having that, you know, the lines a little bit in my under eyes, I didn't want to put this one on the list. But I have used this one more or just as much as some of the others that were like high use. Like I've had these a while and I've used them a lot. Like I just told you, M17 is almost empty. I will probably repurchase this concealer at some point, but I have so many others that I'm loving right now, and I still have this one to empty, that it will be a while before I repurchase. But Pat McGrath Labs has beautiful packaging. This is a glass bottle. It's gorgeous. It's full coverage. A lot of people that wear this concealer swear by it, and it's their like go-to holy grail concealer. There have been times when it was my go-to holy grail and I was reaching for it over so many others. So it's my runner-up, my like honorable mention, because I used it so much. But now that some of these other ones and the technology they're putting in these products, now that some of these other ones have come along, I'm starting to reach for them more than these. Love them and definitely wanted to mention them to you guys. Those are my top 5 concealers for mature skin for 2024. The concealers I spoke about in my previous video are also still amazing, but these are my top 5 concealers currently in 2024. I know how difficult it is to find a wonderful concealer as you get older and you have more wrinkles and dark circles, and I wanted to help you guys out. These are all concealers that have worked amazingly for me, and I hope that they will be amazing for you. If you use any of these concealers, please comment down below and let me know what you think. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will respond. And if you've not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button before you leave. So I'll be seeing you guys again very soon in my next video. So until the next time we meet again, this is Savvy signing out.